Good morning and welcome to the fifth quarter AZ. My name is Danny Neal, and already we are just rocking and rolling early this morning and ready to have a good time. So before I do anything or go any further, of course, I cannot do this alone. I got to have my partner in crime, my partner, my boss, my supervisor, the guy that think he can always tell me what to do. The man known all over Northern Arizona is simply the coach. My guy, Mr. Tyrone Johnson. How you doing this morning, man?
Man, you know I'm doing well this morning, Coach. How you doing?
Man, I'm doing good. I'm up early, and every day above ground is a good day, man. So I'm
That
just sitting
is,
here.
that is. You got a little extra pep in your step this morning. It must be because you finally got back in the gym with some basketball or
Hey
something.
man, hey, we got back in the gym with basketball, and it's open gym time. Just season trials only like 5 or 6 weeks away, and got a lot of girls out there. I'm sure like Coconino, MPA, Basis, all the schools around Flagstaff are gearing up for good basketball seasons, along with the soccer and everything else that's going along with it, man. So. I'm just ready, man. I'm just ready and happy and seeing the girls out there, man. And there's a lot of things going on in Flagstaff. And the odd thing about today is I think every team plays out of town. I don't think there's anybody. We got Coconino under Coach Gary Cook, who has a 2-1 record, 1-1 conference. Their only loss was last week to Arcadia, 42-19. But tonight they go to Poston Butte, a place that we went that's so far away from Flagstaff that when we finally got to Poston Butte, I asked you, was we still in America? But they play Poston Butte, who's out of the 4A East. They have a 2-2 record, so go Coconino. Let's come back with a 5-1 record. Coach Mickey Clemens had got his first win of the season last week with a 27 win over Desert Sunrise. Tonight, and they have a 1-3 overall record, 1-1 in conference. Tonight, they go to Copper Canyon to play 4A Desert Sky. They're playing Copper Canyon out of the 4A Desert Sky. They've got a 1-3 overall record. Then we have volleyball with Coach Scott Denny. And so both both football games, Poston Butte and Canyon, Copper Canyon are at those sites. Volleyball, Scott Denny, with a 1-7 overall record. They will be going to the Epic Tourney Invite at the Peace Country Day School. So we wish them good luck. Beth Haggard with the Flag High Girls with a 7-2 overall record are also at the Epic Tournament. So we wish both of them, Flag High and Coconino, good luck as they play today and tomorrow at the Epic Tournament Invite at Phoenix Country Day School. Then MPA with Coach Corey Murphy with a 6-1 overall record. Will be playing Basis of Phoenix tonight out of the 2A Central with a 3-4 record. All right. And then we got flag football. And the Lady Eagles flag football team are doing really, really well this year. I don't want to talk too much about them since we got the coach sitting right here. How's the team going, Coach?
Hey man, we're experiencing a bunch of firsts this year. You know what I mean? Bunch of firsts, from first wins, and yeah, we experienced our first loss. So I don't want to talk about football this morning. No, just kidding, man. It's doing good. We did lose. We competed. We lost 20-13 our last game, and so it shows some things that we need to continue to work on. We have a big week coming up with Canyon View coming up, and then we start our region play. We'll have Copper Canyon on Thursday, and so we just gonna get out. We're gonna try and improve, and we're gonna see if we can position ourselves for when the state tournament comes to where we can make a nice little run.
Yeah, man. And I kudos to you, your coaching staff, and your team. Inaugural season. We know some of the teams in the Valley have been doing this for a while. Not as an AIA sport, but doing flag football and competing. And so for Flag High to put a team together on the run, didn't even know it was going to have a team 3 months ago. And now to put a team on the run, together on the run with soccer players, not volleyball, but soccer, softball, basketball, all these different athletes, and to have a record and be as successful you are. Kudos to you guys, and just keep pushing. And we supporting you all the way, man.
Well, we definitely appreciate it. And yeah, the coaching staff, they're doing great. Coach Chris is dialing in on the defense. And so we're going to look to see if we can continue to lock down on that offensively. We're going to see. Look, I'm going to have a talk with the offensive coordinator because we got inside the 5-yard line 3 times and we come out with 1 score. So I'm going to have some words with my offensive coordinator.
Excuse me.
Yes,
who's your offensive coordinator?
Me. That's who. Me.
well, after this show, you can have a few minutes to yourself. Go over in the corner, turn your back to the wall, and think about it.
Man, you fools. And of course, Coach Jess, she's doing good.
Yes, she is.
Yeah. So it's good, man. It's a good time.
Well, that's all right, man. And we just, like I said, congratulations to you guys. And also, at the House Rec Center tonight, they're bringing back something that was done a few years ago in coordination with the Flagstaff Police Department called Night Court. So the House Rec Center will be open tonight. We'll do it once a month from 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. just for open court basketball for kids, middle school to high school. So if you want to come in, play a couple games of basketball tonight, please feel welcome to come, but there is a no entry rule. So if you leave, you cannot come back in. So come out, enjoy yourselves. Hopefully we'll know where 20, 30 kids are at 9 o'clock tonight and know that they're in a very safe environment. So that's great. And as we move forward, man, y'all hit that like button, hit the subscribe. We can go live. If you got any questions for our guests, hey, hit us up. We'll ask them. All right. And if you have somebody that you'd like to see on the show with a connection to Flagstaff that we haven't had on, we do have request forms that you can fill out, or there is a QR code that you see on the screen. You can hit that and say, hey, this person, let's get them on the show. They're doing great things. They'll fit well with Coach Johnson. I don't know how well they're gonna fit with me, but they'll fit well with Coach Johnson and ready for his question of the week. So hit us up. Let us know if there's somebody out there that needs to be recognized. That's what we're all about. So
yes, sir.
Anything else,
yes,
Coach?
Sir.
Anything else?
No, man. You done covered it. You're doing good this morning. You spry. You enunciate things. People can understand you. Let's go. Let's get the guests.
All right, man. Hey, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate your love. But so yeah, man, we got a good guest on today. A young lady who I've never met, who you never met, and was brought to us by one of our producers. And that is a young lady, and I'm gonna get his name right because I'm cool like that. Madison Cullinan. Did I get it right, Madison?
Yes, you did.
You can say almost. I'm okay.
Nice try.
There go your perfect show right out the window. How do you say it, Madison?
Cullinan.
Okay.
Cullinan.
Okay. So my enunciation wasn't as good as you said. All right, well, Madison, for the viewers out there, for the listeners, for myself and Coach Johnson, tell us a little bit about yourself.
Yeah, so my name's Madison Cullinan, as you said. I grew up in Gilbert, Arizona. I went to Highland High School. I played on the varsity soccer team there for 3 years. And I'm currently at Regis University in Denver, Colorado, where I play on the women's soccer team here. And I am majoring in health and exercise science with the goal of becoming a physical therapist.
Yeah, that's what's up. That PT, that's a good business. My daughter, she has her DPT, so she's a doctor of physical therapy, and she got hers. She went to West Kentucky, and then she went to Rutgers, and she got her DPT from there. So that's a great field.
Nice. Yeah, it's 3 extra years of school, but
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. So you playing in the RMAC, huh?
Yes, sir, in the RMAC.
Yeah, the RMAC, that's a tough conference in all sports. How's it going so far in the RMAC this year for you?
It's going good. Today's actually our first RMAC game. So we had a bunch of preseason games like in conference. So we play the Lone Star Conference is in our region. And so we played 2 Texas teams, 2 Washington teams, and 2 California teams. And right now our record's 4-2. So not bad going into RMAC. We just won 2 games last weekend against the Washington teams, which was a good start to come into RMAC. And we actually play our crosstown rivals tonight at home against Metro. So it's going to be a good game, physical game, and there's hopefully going to be a lot of people there in the crowd. So it'll be exciting.
Oh, yeah, that's real cool. That's real cool.
And that's all right. She comes, got a big crosstown rivalry game today, and she spends her morning with us. That's all right. That's all right. Hopefully, Coach, you can give them something to, a little inspiration to go out there. And what position do you play on the soccer field?
I play center back.
Okay. Do you
I'm
know what
5'10".
Can you
that is?
tell Coach what a center back is? Because he has no idea what you're saying.
Yeah.
That kind of like a fullback.
A center back is a defender.
Okay.
I would compare it to like a safety in football.
Gotcha.
So yeah. So they're in the center of the fields. They kind of control everything defensively. They see everything in front of them. So yeah. And I'm 5'10", so I win a lot of headers and balls out of the air and stuff like that. So
And Coach, a header is when she goes up and she hits you with the head.
I know. That's why I never played soccer, because I wasn't going to get no concussion, me hitting the ball and somebody else trying to hit it too. But anyway, at 5'10", never thought about basketball?
I played it for like a summer and I actually really enjoyed it. Like a YMCA league. But never got into it like super competitively, but I did enjoy playing it a lot. But it's hard to play 2 club sports at the same time. So, but it was fun when I played it.
Yeah.
Well,
Speaking of club sports, how long have you been playing soccer? When did you get on the club circuit? Did you just start off like kind of saying the YMCA leagues or AYSO and just doing it, micro soccer? Has it always been something that you've done?
Yeah, so I've been playing soccer for 13, 14 years, ever since I was 6 years old. So I started out on like a rec team just down in Arizona, kind of what every youth player does. And then I started at like the club level when I was, I want to say maybe 11. And then I went to play at Arizona Arsenal as the club I played for. And I was there for maybe six years or so. And that's when I started getting like more competitive, and we got ECNL, which ECNL is kind of a new level of youth soccer. And it was super awesome for Arizona Arsenal to get that status, because it allowed us to get some more players and compete against like the highest level of soccer players across the country. So, and then after that is when I went on to college. So.
All right. And here in Flagstaff, there's good soccer here in Flagstaff.
Yeah.
Had you heard about Flag High at all? Or Coconino or any of the Flagstaff players?
I've never played against a Flagstaff team, but we did have a girl from Flagstaff that would commute to our club down in the valley. So that was cool. She would come down probably twice a week for practices, and then games she'd be there on the weekend, and she was a really good player. So it was awesome to have her on our team from Flagstaff.
And who's that? Let's show her some love.
Yeah, Samantha Slaughter.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, Samantha. She was in Flag High, I believe.
Yeah.
So So well, that's good. So there's another connection. There's another Flag High connection. Was her style of play different from what your style of play was down in the valley?
Honestly, yeah, she had a lot of grit. She would just work her butt off every day at training and in games. And sometimes you see, like down in Gilbert, there's a lot of girls that are kind of like, oh, I don't want to be here today, or I'm tired, I don't want to work hard, but she would just show up every day and work her hardest, and it was great. She brought a great like team culture to our team. So it's awesome.
And it helps when you got that 7,000 feet behind you.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, her conditioning was good too.
So how is it in Denver? I mean, with the elevation and stuff.
Yeah, Denver's Mile High City, right? So 5,000 something feet. It was hard at first. I got here, I would walk up a flight of stairs and I'd be out of breath. So it took me about probably 3 weeks to get acclimated. And we do our fitness testing like early in the fall, like before our season starts. And so something I've always done is come to Colorado early, like 3 weeks early, and start training, start running, and trying to get acclimatized to the altitude. And then so by the time season comes, I'm ready to go. I've got like my endurance is back up and stuff like that. So it's definitely a challenge, but it gives us an edge over, the Texas teams that we played, the California, Washington teams that we play. They're not used to the altitude when they come and play us at home. And so it definitely gives us an advantage because in the 60th minute in the game, they're huffing and puffing and we're still ready to go.
So for everybody out there, 7,000 feet is real.
Oh, yeah.
It is real. And, we were talking earlier and you said just through your club ball team and everything, there was a lot of girls on your team that went D1. Something that you also had an opportunity to do. You had a lot of looks at D1, but you chose the D2.
Yes.
Why?
So I chose Division II for a couple of reasons. I was actually looking at NAU. That was one of my top schools to go to for college. But I chose the Division II route because I wanted to come on and play soccer all 4 years. At a Division I wasn't sure if I would be able to play until maybe my senior year, until I had developed a little bit more as a player. And so something I've always wanted to do is I want to come in and play as a freshman, right? I wanted to start as a freshman, wanted to make a difference. And so I felt like the Division II level would offer me like a greater opportunity to play all 4 years, whereas a Division I might not get that opportunity. And also at the Division II level, I chose Regis specifically because they have a really good physical therapy program. And that's what I want to do with my career. And so I realized like education is my most important thing. And I wanted to get a really good education through the health and exercise science program and then go on and do the PT route. So Division II has offered me some great opportunities to play a lot, meet great people, and you also get that school soccer balance and life balance, social balance that at a Division I you might not get because you're on the road a lot more, you're practicing a lot more, it's a lot more like high stake. And our Division II team is still like at a high level, but it's also gives you the balance of the school life as well, which I find super important.
Yeah, and I think that's very important in the sense that, everybody's always talking about D1, 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 but when you're in the recruiting process, it's important to go kind of where you're actually wanted as opposed to where you're hoping to go. You're holding out hope to go to this D1 school. And then, like you say, you end up sitting a bench and getting frustrated. Then you get in the transfer portal, so on and so forth. And so with the D2 route, can you give us like a example of, say, a daily routine for a D2 athlete when you're in season?
Yeah. So let's see, we practice in the morning. So we train from 7 to 8:30. So I'll wake up at 6 a.m., go to the locker room, training room, do whatever I need pre-practice. And then we'll train from 7 to 8:30. And then we'll typically have lift or weight session 8:30 to 9:30. And then I'll normally have, right now in the fall season, I'm taking 14 credits. So it's a little bit lighter of a load in the fall when I'm in season. And so I'll typically have 2 classes a day. So then after training and weights, I'll go eat breakfast, change, shower, and then go to class from typically like 12:30 to 3:30. Come home, do homework, hang out with friends, watch TV, unwind, go to bed early because you got to wake up the next day and do it all over again. So, but that's a typical day. And like today is our first RMAC conference game. So we didn't have training this morning. Our coach was like, sleep in, get some good rest, wake up, and then eat breakfast, do some homework. I don't have any classes on Fridays, which is super nice. So it's like a 3-day weekend all the time.
So your coach told you to sleep in and get some rest. Did she know you're doing this morning?
Oh yeah. Hey, I still got to sleep until 8. That's a win in my book. Yeah. So then we'll show up pregame. Our game's at 5 today. So we'll show up pregame, locker room at 3 and get treatment, anything you need from the trainers before the game. Locker room, we get hype in the locker room, do our dances, and then head out to the field and game time. So super excited for today.
That's what's up. And then kind of what's the difference in your preparation at the high school level and the college level? Do you go through the same routine or is there a difference for you?
I'd say there's for sure a difference for college. At the high school level, I mean, I wasn't like aching so much as I've gotten older. I've gotten more body pains and stuff. So, I mean, I do a contrast bath before every game now. So you do heat colds, and that kind of gets my body warm, ready to go for the game. Whereas in high school, I'd just show up, put my cleats and shin guards on, and let's go. Now I got to really take care of my body and get prepared, stretch. It's just a longer routine, I think, for me as I've gotten older, to take care of my body more. And honestly, like nutrition's more important for me now to provide energy for me. So like my pregame meals are super important, and just taking care of my body, getting in the mental and physical like right state of mind to get ready to play. So
And I know you mentioned it, and I think every athlete we have on the show has mentioned one thing when they're talking about their preparation, their readiness, their healthiness. And it's one thing I wish I'd known about a long time ago, and that's eating right.
mhm.
How important is that to you?
That's super important to me, and also something I'm interested in as a health and exercise science major. We take a bunch of nutrition classes and learn the importance of carbs, fats, proteins, everything like that. And something I really dove into this past couple weeks in my exercise physiology class was talking about the difference between the nutrition that an athlete needs versus a non-athlete. And just the carb intake, protein intake is just way higher than it would be for a non-athlete. So it's super important, especially when you're exerting so much energy in lifts and practices and games, to get that proper nutrition in, because that's ultimately what's fueling you, and you can't perform at your best if you're not fueled properly. So that's something I take like very seriously, as my pregame meals, snacks, everything like that. Hydration too is super important. So just getting the right nutrients in you before the game to help you perform at your best at the elite level you can. So
That's cool. And for, let's say, the non-athletes, we just gonna put a hypothetical out there. Non-athlete, 60 plus. What what type of nutrition should they be getting? Should they be eating like Snickers and I mean, what should they be doing?
I mean, for them, probably just the average amount of protein and carbs, lipids, staying away from trans fats, staying away from McDonald's.
That's some great advice. We appreciate that.
Yeah.
There's protein in Snickers bars.
Hey, as long as you're burning it off.
I am. Get my rocking chair. But you talked about, once again, all the reasons you went to Regis. And you had the opportunity to go to NAU.
Yes, sir.
Where your mom went, where your dad went, where you have a twin sister right now, correct?
Yes, sir.
So that wasn't enough to pull you to NAU, huh?
Yeah, I mean, my brother went there too. He
Oh,
just
really?
graduated. Yep, he just graduated last year. He was in the ROTC program there. So he's in the military right now. He's in Georgia doing basic training and stuff like that. So, and then my twin sister's there right now. She's studying bio. I think she wants to be a doctor, pre-med route. So good for her.
Yes.
Yeah, my mom did. My mom's actually a physical therapist too, so she did her PT school at NAU as well. So I could end up back at NAU for my PT school. It's definitely on my radar. So when I apply to PT school, I'll be looking at NAU because they have a really good PT program
Yes.
that I'm interested in. So, and I'd get in-state tuition, so that'd be nice. But
Go Jacks.
yeah, go Jacks. But NAU was a school I was really interested in. It's a beautiful campus. They had a really good soccer team. I think for me personally, I just went away from NAU because they had so many girls on their roster. They had about probably 40, 45 girls on their roster. And right now at Regis, we have 27. And so I thought it would just give me a better opportunity, like I said earlier, just to play right away as a freshman, instead of, okay, I have to compete with 39 girls now instead of competing with 26 for my starting spot. So for me personally, that's why I went away from it. But they have a very good soccer team, and I keep up with their stats and games and stuff like that. I've watched a couple of my teammates go to NAU right now from clubs. So it's a very good school, very good program. And my sister and brother and mom and dad all loved it there. So I might end up there for PT school.
Have you ever thought about getting into coaching afterwards?
Um, a little bit, yeah, because I actually worked a couple camps, soccer camps, coaching little kids, and I really enjoyed it. I really liked sharing kind of my knowledge of soccer and just implementing that in like the youth population and helping them to achieve their goals. If they want to play college soccer, I can kind of like be their mentor in that sense and be like, okay, like this is kind of what you need to do to get to this level, and I'll help you with whatever you need. So I do like coaching youth so far. Yeah.
And are we talking the second to third graders, middle school?
Yeah.
There is a difference.
I think the kids I was with, they were 10, 11-year-olds.
Okay.
So what is that? 6th, 7th grade, maybe?
Yeah, 5th, 6th in that area. Yep.
Yeah. Yep.
Right. Yeah. And they were pretty receptive to you.
Oh yeah.
I
When they focus. Yeah.
I could I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. And so what's the difference you see um in Denver and the attitude and the fans and all that compared to the ones in the valley, who we all know are very passionate?
Oh yeah. The fans, you're asking about like the fan.
Just how do you support in the valley as opposed to you support there? In Flagstaff, people are laid back.
Yeah.
You know, everybody's chill.
Yeah.
How do you find it from Phoenix to Denver?
Yeah, so from Phoenix, I mean, it's a little difficult because it was high schoolers supporting us instead of college students, but, I mean, it was very high energy, very intense games, like, we were a 6A school, so we'd play against top teams and stuff, and it was very high energy, very high pace, like, very stressful environments, I'd say, and in college, it's kinda the same way, honestly, very stressful. We get a lot of, other team sports, so the baseball team, volleyball team, men's soccer, they come out and support us, and so we have a
That's
huge
cool.
student athlete population, which I think is better in college than it was in high school. In high school, we didn't have a ton of, like, other sports coming to watch us, like football games do. It was a lot of family and friends, whereas, at the college level, it's a lot of student athletes, it's a lot of students that go to the school and wanna support their sports team, along with friends and family. So I think it's, a much larger fan base that come to our games now, and it's very high energy, high pace, and people are yelling at the refs and yelling at the players and stuff, but it's an awesome environment to play, especially under the lights on Fridays is the best type of environment, I think.
Friday Night Lights.
That's cool. So what's been the most difficult transition for you from high school to college? What's the most difficult transition, either as a student, athlete, or both?
Yeah, that's a good question. I think the most difficult thing for me was just being on my own and kind of learning time management skills and learning to cook and learning to clean and stuff. So it's not like I can be like, Mom, like, can you cook, like, make me dinner? Like, no, I'm thousands of miles away from home. So, and then I have all these classes and practices and games and traveling and missing for games and stuff like that. So, I think just finding a balance that works for you and a schedule that works for you is super important. So you can balance out your school, you can balance out your social life, and you can balance out your athletic um, sport. And so I think that's super important for time management. Has definitely been the hardest adjustment for me. But I'm good now. I'm a
Absolutely.
junior, so I'm in the group. Yeah.
So
Yes, indeed.
what's your best dish that you could cook?
Oh, my best dish. Last week I made shrimp scampi. That was very good. And
Okay.
my roommates loved it. I cooked for them too, and they said it was amazing. So shrimp
So you got some
That's
skills then if you're
Oh
making
yeah.
some shrimp scampi.
Don't give me too much credit. The shrimp came in a box.
Oh, okay. Okay. No, that's still good though.
Yeah.
Because some people can't cook at all. I ain't gonna say no names.
Well, hey, I know how to microwave. I'm good, man. But I remember a few years back, Flag High School won 4 state championship game, 4 championships. And my brother-in-law played on 2 of those teams. And I remember one of those games, he had an interception at the end of the game to kind of seal the game. And he said he looked up and seemed like everything just opened up, like that was his moment in sports. What was your moment?
Wow, my moment.
Something that you just, oh, no, this is
Yeah,
it.
this is it. Yeah. Man, I think my moment would probably be last year. We were playing against one of our rivals in the RMAC UCCS in Colorado Springs, and it was a tough game. It was tied 1-1, and we went into overtime, double overtime, and they scored first, and we were down 2-1, and we were like, oh shoot, we're down. Like, come on, we need to win. We scored 2-2, and then there was a minute left in second overtime before we would go to a penalty shootout. And we scored and we won 3-2 with 1 minute left, and we all stormed the field, and we were going crazy because we hadn't beaten that team yet at all. The previous 2 years, we've always lost to that team, and so we beat them in the semifinals, and we went on to the finals, and that was an incredible feeling. It was like we were on top of the world, and as a team, it was just an unforgettable moment. It was amazing.
That's all right. And the important thing you said, as a team.
Mhm. Yeah.
It was your moment, but it was also a team moment.
Yes.
Well, that's good. Well, we have come to the time in the show where we ask you to give our viewers, our listeners, a little motivation.
Okay.
But you do that by way of the da 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 Coach Johnson Golden Nugget question of the day. Let's see what you got, Coach.
Hear it.
Well, no, I got a couple different things, but let's see. They talk about the importance of being a multi-sport athlete. A, were you a multi-sport athlete? And B, if not, what are your feelings about a multi-sport athlete? And then I guess the actual golden nugget is just, what piece of advice would you give a young, aspiring soccer player who's looking to play at the college level?
Awesome. Good questions. I would say, so I personally was not a dual sport athlete. I tried basketball, like I said, a little bit, but nothing serious. I pretty much focused only on soccer, but that is something I do regret a little bit, not getting into some other sports, because a couple of my teammates, they ran track, they did cross country, soccer, volleyball, softball, like they did a lot of sports growing up. And I think that's super important for youth players to get into a couple different sports, and then as they get older, maybe they can focus more on a sport if they want to like get super good at just one sport. But I do think there's a lot of aspects of multiple sports that kind of correlate and can help you get better in, like, for example, soccer and basketball, right? The defending part in basketball, you get low, you get side on, and that's the same in soccer. So if you can get good at it in basketball, but you need to work on it in soccer, you can kind of implement those same techniques and tactics into soccer. So I think that's super important. And track also can get you faster, can get you stronger for a sport like soccer as well. So I think that's super important, and something I wish I would have done too when I was growing up is participate in some more sports. I think is super important. As for the advice for youth soccer players wanting to, go on collegiately or just play at a higher level, my best advice for them would just be outwork everyone around you. There's so many people that share that same goal, and it gets smaller and smaller and smaller as you go up the chain. And so I think just work your hardest, outwork people around you, have that accountability yourself. If you want to be great, it comes down to you wanting to be great. You have to put in that work. You've got to go to extra practices, go to extra lifts and stuff. If that's what you really want to do, commit to it and sell out to it, buy in, and just work your butt off all the time to get to that level. And it's possible. You can do it.
That's right. Now, can I
That's
pigtail off
awesome.
your question, Coach? I've never pigtailed off your golden nugget. But this one
Man,
time,
it's first for everything. Let's go. Let's do it.
you coach, like you said, younger kids. What would you
Yes.
tell an athlete, whether it's soccer or whatever, who's not the best player, who maybe right now may not look like they're a D1 athlete, but we know that the people who are here as middle school can be passed at high school. what would you tell someone who's not that number one, number five athlete, but
Yeah.
8, 9?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good question because honestly, I wasn't the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 athlete. I was kind of when I was younger, I was lower. I was always big and I wasn't as fast as everyone around me. But I would tell them to just like I said, just work hard and put in that extra work. And it's okay to not be the best on your team because you have the most growth. You have the most room for improvement. If you start at 8, you can get to 1, but the person at 1 can't, they're already there, you know? So it's like, how are they going to improve? And I would say put yourself in an environment where you're going to be challenged, where you're going to have to work harder to keep up with the better players, you know. And as you get older, just keep working hard, keep practicing hard, and challenge yourself because it's possible. And just challenge yourself to get faster, stronger. And you can always learn, just always learning from the game. Watch older players, watch people your age, you know, watch the women's national team. Just you can always be a student of the game. Like I'm 20 years old and I'm still learning things every single day from the game. So I think just being like humble about it too, and just realizing, okay, like, yeah, I'm not the best one on the team, but I have so much room to grow and I want to be challenged and I want to be pushed. So just keep working hard.
There you
Excellent.
go.
That's excellent. And a great follow-up question, Coach. I mean, definitely. Madison, we definitely appreciate you. It's such a pleasure to meet you and to talk with you this morning. Hey, let's go Rangers tonight. Let's go get them. Let's beat Metro. Let's take them down.
Yes,
Good
sir.
luck. Best of luck tonight and for the rest of the season. Definitely appreciate you.
Thank you guys. Thank you so much for having me.
Good luck, Madison. And when you finally get to NAU, hit us up. You can be one of the co-hosts on the show.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much.
All right. Good luck tonight.
Take care.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
All right. Coach, that was all right, man. That's great. Young lady doing well, has that Flagstaff connection. And so another great show, man. Another great show.
Definitely a great show. And just just interesting that she had I guess the courage and just the understanding of what she wanted to do to step out from the family line of everybody going to NAU, so on and so forth, and go pursue it the way she wanted to. So, that's definitely hats off to her and best of luck to her and everything that she's doing.
Well, that's obviously a leader to create that path. And so that's good stuff, man. And the beauty of that is that's just not for kids. That's for adults too. That's for people my age too. You get this 20-year-old talking more mature than a lot of our adults. And that's the beauty of the show. We're seeing a lot of that.
Yeah. No, absolutely.
We're seeing a lot of these young folks who have their head right. And like she's saying, just working hard and doing things like that. Because a lot of people think that they can take their child to Coach Johnson and they're gonna be a state champion. And I'm not just saying
a lot more than that.
I'm just saying, we talked about this before.
That
just because you're going to a successful program doesn't gonna mean you're gonna be successful. If you put in the work and do what's asked of you, good things will happen for you, and just trusting your coaches and your teammates and your players, and good things will happen. And I think that's the road she's on. And
absolutely. And that's what she kind of emphasized. If you want to be great, you gotta go be great. You gotta do it. It's on you. You know what I mean? And so regardless of where you go, there's an aspect that, you yourself still have to put in the work in order to make that greatness. So so that was good, man.
That was another good show, Coach. And I know you got to work today. I don't work till 9:00 tonight. I'll be there for night court. So I do work in these 24 hours. So since I got to go to work at 9, I'm gonna go ahead and take a nap.
Because we don't want you over here like this.
We don't want that.
We don't want that. So you get yourself some rest, man. Hey, listen, I don't know what everybody else got to do, but we hope you have a great day. And I do know one thing, you ain't got to go home,
but you got to leave here. Peace.